radio. Shout it.
Okay, take me back to SiriusXM because that was a whole new monkey right there, man. When that thing touched down, that was like uncensored radio. It's just a whole new form of radio at that time. So being able to be grandfathered into that kind of a movement, what was that like being able to get on the air and cuss and play dirty damn records?
It
had never been done before.
It just felt you felt like you were being a part of the transition of the culture.
Okay.
And then that was an honor, like they're like, oh, we the new fresh.
Yeah.
That's a part of that. So then it was like, dang, you could really do what you wanted to do. And I knew that it was going to start changing the game. I knew it was going to start affecting the game moving forward.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing, definitely in itself. And then it created a lot of different opportunities as far as like who you was meeting, artists, interviews, all that kind of good stuff. And then it was a good feeling, man.
Okay, so now, don't get it fucked up. You came with Rhythm and Streets. So when did that happen?
Rhythm and Streets kind of really was it was just supposed to be the R&B version of Gangsta Girls. The same thing that we was doing for Gangsta Girls. I was like, yo, the R&B artists need their platform as well. So it was just the same thing, the same techniques, the same approach. Because we would have conversations about it. Really, because we from Philly, so we studied the clues and the flexes and the Kid Capris and the K Slays and all and the Ron G's who was one of the first mixtape DJs that was influencing that R&B platform to the table. With the whole like kind of like the Mary J. Blige thing, like putting a hip hop track but having vocals, R&B soul vocals over a hip hop track like that. Taking that whole form. And that's the same thing what we was doing with the Gangsta Girls, man. We knew the South. It's just like what Andre was talking about when they won that award at the Source Awards. The South got something to say. Thanks. So we wanted to, we respected where we was at because we was in Atlanta. We knew we was from Philly, but we knew that we was in Atlanta. So we wanted to really embrace where we was at. You know what I'm saying? And then we wanted to create a platform the same way New York was creating a platform for artists coming out of New York. We wanted to create the same platform.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We was real selfless about it.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So we was like, no, we want to create a platform because we knew Southern artists had lyrical, because living down in Atlanta and coming from the East Coast, I felt like the South had a little bit of a stereotype, like they only made like booty shake and they was only partying and they ain't have no real lyrics and they was like they wasn't talking about nothing, and we knew that wasn't true. Like even when Drum was doing a mixtape and this artist came over and he talking about he the king of the South. And I was like, Dron, who was that? And he was like, yeah, dude, talking about he the king of the South. That was T.I. He said he was the king of the South before anybody knew who he was.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And just stuff like that. And he was like, yo, and I remember he was like, yo, dude got bars. It's funny. He's like, yo, dude got bars.
That house on Glen Irish though, man.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind now since when you think back to that place where y'all was at and all of these people that would come through that house to go on to be legends and goats in their own right. Can you go down a list of some of them people that came through there in the business that was going on?
T.I. was one of the first. Jeezy, because Coach used to come. We knew Coach. That's how our relationship with T.I. formed because we been knew Coach.
Yeah.
Coach lived in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
And we just come kick it, smoke with him. What I mean? This was on, and then we was talking about the same shit. You know what I mean? Coach was kind of like our big brother that used to come through. You know, Coach used to manage me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Coach was one of my first managers.
That's crazy.
Yep, he'll tell you that. Yep, he was one of my first managers, and he would come through and kick it with us like on some big bro style. And he was like, man, I got this nigga Jeezy. I'm telling you, that's how he's like, this nigga Jeezy. I'm telling you, I got that nigga Jeezy and Slick Puller because he had both of them at the same time. And that's how we knew about Jeezy. That's how that whole thing came together.
Mm-hmm.
We knew about that like years. I mean, that Trap or Die and Streets is Watching, that didn't come out. Man, probably 2-3 years after that, we been knew them. 3 years before that even came out, we been knew them. Yeah, so that's how that happened. And T.I., Luda pulled up and did a mixtape for me. He was already Luda by this time. Monica pulled up. Monica pulling up, I thought that was the realest shit ever.
Yeah.
When Monica pulled up. Monica was already the Monica. She pulled up, her and her manager Melinda, they pulled up, they fly Benzes and they fresh, and our little apartments was hood. And I saw like, damn, they real for that.
Exactly.
They pulled up and she did the whole, she did the very first Rhythm and Streets.
What?
Real shit. Real shit. And I got to shout out my man Real for putting that together. That was one of my managers too. My man Real Street Promotions, because he had an account with J Records and she was signed to J Records. And I said, I'm going to do my first mixtape with this other artist. I can't even remember who the artist was. He was like, man, that's whack. Nah, we got to do somebody right. Fuck that. Monica about to drop this song called So Gone. We going to break this shit on your mixtape. That's the whole plan. It was So Gone. And he was like, fuck that. I'm going to make that shit happen. And he did. Real rap. And then he had Monica pull up. I remember the day because of my little Ratchet apartment at the time. He like, man, clean this shit up, man. Fuck it. We got Monica coming through. I had to clean the little bummy ass apartment up and shit. And she came and spent the whole day. She spent the whole day with me. The whole day. And we did a freestyle over 21 questions. And she did 21 answers and sang that shit. And I broke So Gone on that mixtape. That's the very first Rhythm Streets. I still got it to this day. I still got the cover.
Okay, so when was it that your mind was blown that you was thinking to yourself, man, we are doing it big as hell out here in these goddamn streets?
When you in the middle of it, it never was like we doing it big. It was just, the one time I realized it was a lot going on when we had this little office, and it was just CDs to the ceiling. And I said, damn, this shit like a damn crack house. When it was CDs to the ceiling that was being moved, I was like, damn, this shit different. That's when I said this shit different. But we was so entrenched, you didn't look at it like, oh my God, what is going on? It was more like, this is just what we do.
Yeah.
It never was like to me, it never was like it's like, well, this is what I knew we could do.
Exactly.
It never was like you know what I'm saying?